The food there is so different from American food. So they eat rice 3 times a day. That's like, they'll have their plate and it's just full of rice, and then they'll put like a little bit of meat on it or whatever. And probably the most traditional dish, it's pretty universal too. It's not like just for the upper class people or the lower class, like pretty much everyone. It's actually the most universal thing would be fish. Most of their jobs in the poorer areas especially, they're fishermen, and so they'll go out in the morning and they'll just fish all day, and they get like, they're pretty small fish. They're probably this big.
What kind of fish? Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but they're just like little fish. And so they'll get these fish and they will just bring them home and they just fry them, I guess. Bones, head, everything. And then they just have like their rice, and then they'll have like 2 fish. And so that's a pretty, like a meal that you'll see almost everywhere you go. And aside from that, they have this thing called adobo, and it's a chicken, and then they put soy sauce and vinegar. They like cook it in soy sauce and vinegar. It's so good. And sometimes they'll put like a couple vegetables in it. Sometimes they don't. And then they just eat that with their rice. And it like creates, it's called sabaw. It like creates kind of a, not like soup, but it's like moister. And so that can like, almost like you're putting soy sauce on your rice, but it's that sauce. They basically cook everything with soy sauce and vinegar. But there's so many different meals. It's like amazing how they do it. And they all have such different tastes, but like they always have those 2 ingredients in everything. Also with the fish, they dry out the fish. There's like ones this big, and then there's little tiny ones, and they just leave them out to dry in the sun all day. And was gross the first time I mentioned. Now I like it. And then you just eat it, bones, everything. It's just like a dry, I don't know, it's like just dried fish, little dried fish. And then they have this thing called balut, and it's really gross. It's a duck egg, but it's not, you know how you eat egg, it's like yellow and white. It's not that. It's right before that, and so, or after that. I don't know. Anyways, it's a duck. Like it has bones and embryo and feathers and beaks, and it's like the duck inside the egg. And so they eat that a lot, but they usually will eat it at night. They have people who like breed the ducks or whatever, have the eggs, and they carry around in these little baskets. And it'll be dark outside, so like you can't really see it, and then you just like buy it on the side of the road. You crack it, and they have vinegar, and you like pour vinegar in it and suck out the juice like embryo. It's really gross.
You tried it?
I tried it, yeah.
How was it?
Not good. A lot of people say, I tried it in the light was my problem. And so I saw the beak, and I saw the feathers, and I saw the bones, and I tasted them, and they like scratched my throat and ate it. It was really gross. But other people say if you just eat it like at night, if you just do it, then it tastes like a chicken noodle soup. I don't think so, but that's what is said. That's one thing that I loved about the Philippines, is that dinner is so, everyone's included, and it's like a family thing. I feel like a lot of times in America it will be like someone's at this, people are like always gone, but dinner there, it's always everyone's together. And another interesting thing with their food is that they like pretty much have specific times when they eat. And so like every day at 12 to 1, it's called uto, and that's like when you eat lunch. And so if you are like working or something, you like can't work at 12 because everyone's eating. They'll just invite you to come eat, but like that's very important that they eat on like their certain hours. And then usually around like 7 or 8 they eat dinner. And if they have guests, so they love to feed the missionaries, and what they'll do is they'll get this food. It'll be a lot or little depending on, but they'll put it all out in front of you, and then they'll kind of like leave, like they'll back off, and they'll just watch you, and you have to eat what you and your companion want, or whoever their guest is. You eat everything, and then whatever's left over they'll eat. And so like they don't really eat around the table. They do if it's just their family, I'm pretty sure. They'll like eat around the table together, but if there's guests, they'll serve you, and then they'll eat the leftovers. Whatever. So it's kind of opposite. It's like there literally are no rules. Like they dip everything in there. They have like bakeries on every corner, and they always give you, it's kind of like a roll. They'll always give you like fresh bread, and they will like dip it in there. They don't really give you water a lot because their water's not clean, and so they always give you like soda and stuff, and so they'll like dip it in there. And they put everything kind of together. Like if they have bread, they'll put like bread, and then they'll put their spaghetti on it, and then they'll put like their chicken on it, and they like eat everything together. They don't use knives, so they just have like a spoon and a fork, and you cut with your spoon, and then you like scoop it on. No, you wait.
Cut with fork, scoop with spoon.
Wait, I can't remember. I didn't like vision it. No, you cut with a spoon. So you like stab it with the fork, cut with a spoon, and you scoop it on there, and then you eat it. Oh, they eat with their hands a lot. Like majority of the times you eat with your hands, and it's not rude. It's not rude to like burp or anything like that. Oh, another thing with them is they always leave they always leave something on the plate. Like they will never be the person to take the last thing. And so no matter what it is, if it's like even their own food and they know no one's going to eat it, like they'll always leave a piece of chicken or like something. And then same with, because they'll just bring like a huge thing of rice, a huge thing of, they call it sudan, but it'll be like a huge thing of chicken and a huge thing of vegetables. And it will never just be like with nothing left. Like they always leave something on their plates. Because they said it symbolizes like the person who takes the last thing, they're like kind of greedy. It's like selfish, and so you like can't eat the last thing ever.